Good morning and welcome to the newspaper review on High Impact Television. I am Esther Kalu. We have our guest who joins us via Skype to have conversations with us on the newspaper review. His name is Obinna Okafor and he's a public affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us this morning on the newspaper review, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Viewers. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. I don't want to ask which which story has gotten your attention this morning. I really don't want to, so that we don't have too many answers at the same time. I'll start with the National Association of Resident Doctors. Have you seen their move? The no work, no pay move coming from the federal government to the doctors. The doctors are saying, according to the reports that we have here, that they are not going to resume nonetheless, no matter what the federal government says for now.
Well, in my opinion, I don't think the best approach to solving the problem is by threatening them. Because the federal government in the first place reached their own part of the bargain. So I would have expected that the minister or whoever is in charge will ask them that we understand that we have not met up to expectation. These are the circumstances we find ourselves. Give us more time, or at least give some level of commitment to think a few things. These are all Nigerians too. They all have families. They have needs to meet. So you can't be threatening them when you have failed for several months before this time. But I think that the federal government should adopt a more reasonable approach to solving the problem. Also, doctors themselves, they should also consider the peculiarity of the nature of their job. It's really very painful. So people are dying and so many people are suffering for the sake of this. But they can also somehow find a way to attend those cases or pay the relative. But I think the major point is from the federal government themselves. Should be able to have a better solving the problem and not this continuous threatening. I was listening to the minister of them last time. I don't think his approach would be the best to bring about.
Okay, so if you are a doctor at this point in time and you are inside, you are in this situation, you probably have to deal with patients and you've had pending cases that you need to attend to, and you have to answer to your association as a resident doctor. Based on compassion and based on what your association wants, what would you do at this point in time?
Well, that's a very, very delicate question. One, as an association, as a group that is, guided by an association, it's always good to do, because if you become an outlayer or a blackleg, anything goes wrong with you, they will come out to rescue you too. So it's not something you can do on a personal note. I also do not know whether it is ethical to help people outside of the hospital. So if there's anything probably on a personal ground, I think that would not be wrong to do so. But I would subscribe to the idea of failing to agree or moving with the directive of the association. It's something so painful that we have to find ourselves in. So after I come back again, there are some, what you call it, some sensitive assignment of workers like the doctors, the security agencies, giving some level of priority in the scheme of things by the government. This should not be allowed to reach this point that lawyers are going on, doctors are going on strike, or maybe very soon say that security and police are doing for mutiny. Those things should be avoided as much as possible. That's why I think should be proactive. These are cases of people that must be essential services, must be at work. Everything that could be done should be done to ensure. The same thing should apply to education, because this should also be considered essential service. With education, solve the economy. With education, you solve security. With education, you solve so many problems that the country is having. But if you consider this as essential service indeed, you can suspend so many that too pressing, but also important, but not important, and attend to the cases that demanding for.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that personally. And I also want to bring to you something that broke in the news last week, talking about elections now, just away from the medical doctors. We can see that we have more youth participation in elections, and we have more people registering, maybe because it has to do with the e-registration. But also, on the other hand, we can see also that political parties are having some form of issues. I don't want to use the word issues, but we can see in the news today, Secondus and the PDP party asking him to resign, and we also have this not just in PDP, in also other parties. So without necessarily placing size on any political party at this point in time, how do you feel that youth should choose when it has to do with making decisions, in choosing political parties to participate in and the leaders to choose when it comes to 2023 elections?
Well, politicians, they have their way of doing things, and definitely they will still come out what they believe will be the best option for us. As for the youth participating, I think it's the best thing that can happen, because most of the times most of us have been Twitter warriors, Facebook warriors, social media warriors that are actually going to the ground. Don't win election. So the commitment or the zeal that young people show now shows that that all of us have now seen the pinch that what happens to us to a large extent has, who rules us has much impact on what happens to us. So whether they feel the young person, and I believe that the young people who are registering now have more block to influence who comes to who to rule in the next dispensation. In terms of having a party that is going to be more of young people, we have young people's party, but they are not as strong. They may not have the muscle. I also do not know whether the young people have made up their mind properly. With the power of Twitter, like this mentioned, the young will be able to, that would have been a platform to sell them, all of that. But whichever way, I should think that whichever party, whoever is going to come up to a political position, federal, state, and local government level, the young people should be looking at, should be considered a young person. Not just a young person, but also have a track record of possibility acting right. Because have some, this is also has as young people, but the actions have been but noble. So I think the fact should be that we should prepare, make the right choices across the line. Maybe after this 23, we're going to build a more resilient connection as building a party that is more of because this is 2021 coming to an end. By next year, the real electioneering commences. So the fact remains that trying to build a viral party movement is there, but at the point of making use of what we have, the selection should be based on who and where they come from. So not where they come from, but the category, caliber of person, not these people who have been in assist.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your thoughts on the newspaper review this morning. We really do appreciate your comments. Thanks for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, have a good day, sir.